Brilliant.
Welcome to Spencer's Magnum Opus.
It is time.
It's downhill from here, folks.
Yep, but here's the good news. We're playing SaGa Frontier. There's 7 separate quests. I'm going to do one quest. We're going to start with Red. I'm going to take my time. We're going to explore everything. We're going to do what we need to. And then I'm going to take a break, play some other games. Could be a month, could be a couple months. Then we'll play the second. So this is technically a magnum opus that can take a long time. So we got a lot of time to talk about this, but SaGa Frontier is probably one of my top 2 favorite games of all time. And
that and Final Fantasy 7?
I would say that and Mario RPG. I don't know. Probably FF7 number 3. Mario RPG is so good. So here's the deal. SaGa Frontier, as you'll find out throughout the course of this, is a very interesting game. The fact that you have the 7 quests, and they have some really cool modes and everything. Great soundtrack. However, it's very, 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 very flawed. So we're going to start off. We're going to start, like I said, there's 7 different quests. Here's your first piece of information. There was supposed to be an 8th quest, which was scrapped at the end. We'll get into that. Actually,
this game has
during
lot
Red's
of
quest
scrap content. It's probably like 50% complete, like total.
So the major thing, like Trevor said, you need to know about this game is, despite having a lot of stuff with it, this game is missing a lot of content, and you'll notice as we go on that it's just
apparently the director of this game is like a madman that just like starts projects that are ginormous, and then he at like crunch time he's like, oh, I finished like 25%.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name, but he made a lot of the SaGa games. He also made Final Fantasy II, the Japanese one, and that game was also one of those things where they're like, you can't make that at this time, and it didn't work out. So you're Red, you're driving. You have your dad, Dr. Okanogi? Yeah? And they have evidence that proves Dr. Klein's connection to Black X. If we could somehow get this information to Erpo, we could stop him. Dad, why are you so interested in Dr. Klein? And he became obsessed with strange and dangerous experiments. So let's go over to Erpo and get this all done. Doesn't want him to commit any more crimes. Let's go. What?
So
we got the car crash RNG.
Dude, I swear it's been like 10 years since I played this game, and like immediately when they said Erpo and Black X, I'm like, oh, it's all coming back.
It's all coming back. This is just one of those games.
I don't even remember what the actual plot is, but
this is one of these games you play so much that like as you come back to it, you're like, oh. Now here's one interesting thing. Despite the fact that we played this over and over again, there's still a couple quests I haven't finished. I've never finished Amelia's. I get really far, but just don't finish it. I've never finished
Ricky's.
I think I have finished Ricky's. And I haven't finished Acilus's. They pronounce it different, and when I've heard it online, it's Acellus or something like that.
Yeah, that's the correct.
I'm going to pronounce it Acellus.
Oh my
so,
God.
So here's the thing.
Alright.
I'm pronouncing things the way I pronounced them 10, 15 years ago, and you're going to deal with it. Here's one of those fights that you can easily win. Just kidding. You're gonna lose.
Wow, 0. You should probably kick. No, you lost.
Kick also takes.
Not even trying.
Kick also takes 0. You're just gonna have to trust me there.
Well,
nope. Oh, you did 11. That's like infinity times more than 0. Yeah, but they choose kick because.
All right, let's restart.
Faster. Whoa.
This is VIRL, by the way.
So this is
Chooser.
forget his name. He's actually not in this much.
Al-Qaeda. Yeah, it is.
Al-Carol.
Al-Carol, yeah.
Al-Carol. It's literally Al-Carol.
I remember now. So I like mine. We are saved by Al-Qaeda, and we become a hero. Just like real life. A revolutionary hero.
That's the move I use in real life.
That's the one I use, where my hand's detached.
That's a lot of blood.
Dang it, Chooser.
You gotta tell them mature content.
So, and just like Chooser is bound to do, he runs away. Like a little poop butt. So, Red's pretty hurting. So what happens is, Al-Carl is like, he won't be able to make it in this condition, so he gives him the power to be like him, Al-Kaiser.
Nice.
And, right? And Red's like, who the heck are you? And he was the only way to save his life to make him a hero. Do not question the plot of this game. Well, from now on, you're Alkazer. But you must also follow the hero's code of honor.
Well, from now on.
I literally would be like, so if you do anything unworthy of it, you'd be eliminated. And if your true, this is important, if your true identity is ever revealed, your memory will be erased. So that's important in when you have fights later. So now you literally are a hero, but he's like, you can't use your power for revenge. You can only be literally boring Superman, and that's it. And he's like, well, I would have died anyway, so now you gave me powers, and he essentially becomes Darth Vader. So we're on the Cygnus.
Look at that background.
I know, look at that background. We're on the Cygnus right now. Red works part-time on the Cygnus. Or, I guess full-time. He is he's like the assistant to Hawk. That guy.
Inside the engine.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, first of all, let's notice that music. This soundtrack
is one of the best.
It's so good. And the thing I like about it so much is it, like, it's MIDI, or very MIDI-like, but it uses, like, real MIDI instruments, if that makes sense. So it's like a flute, but, like, MIDI-ized, or MIDI-sized. So it's just great. It's just great. So,
from the bass, Kenji Ito.
So we are, here we have a main character, Yuria, who Red wants to go out with.
That's a good name.
And she asked him to pay. And he's like, I'm just an assistant. And she asks how much they pay, and she says how much she gets paid, and he says, I get less. So he's emasculated right away. And...
oh, man.
So she's nice. She's like, let's go halfway.
Oh, okay. So this game, the background are just 2D render images.
Yes.
And because of that, you can run at static speed.
Yeah, so this is normal walking, which is fast enough in normal games, but this is running, which is going to be very important for dodging enemies. Yeah, thank you. So, one of the things we have to know about this game is there are very, very, very specific things you have to do to trigger stuff, and that would be very frustrating for someone who's never played before or has no guide. For instance,
is there a moment later in this quest where like you have to go through a certain amount of screens and a certain amount of like
yes,
time?
And we'll get to that near the end of Red's quest. I could really see being like just so fed up with it that you're like, I quit. But if you have a strategy guide, you can, and the strategy guide, by the way, for this game is like very flawed. Like it's got a lot of problems. The general stuff of like where the characters are and whatever generally works. We're going to Baccarat. This is the Las Vegas.
If you ever find this strategy guide, if you look at the bestiary, they just make up numbers, like totally. Like there's some times where they have like the super boss of this game, and it's like 50,000 HP, and it's like in reality like 1 million.
Yep. So I love the music here. The bestiary is completely wrong. This is the other main character, Amelia, who you can get later if you so choose. I don't want him. So this is Black X. You're just talking to him, right? So like you could walk around for forever and not know how to like trigger this, right? So like you talk to all of them, but what you have to do is you have to talk to that one on the bottom, and he says that's Shoozer, which doesn't make any sense because it doesn't look like Shoozer. But then they run away. They run into the slot machines. We go down here, and we're gonna go to the parking lot. Now this is important. When he said that your identity can never be known, when you have someone else that's with you, you can't turn to Alkazer. But
in your party.
In your party, or just, I guess, anyone around you, whatever. Yeah. But when he was in there, he was by himself. So,
now Shoozer looks like Shoozer, and he has a pill bug.
So that pill bug is the only one you have to fight, and at least early on, I'm going to skip all the fights I can. Down the line, when I want to level up and stuff, you know, whatever. So, here's the main, kind of,
Whoa,
there we go.
Okay.
So here's the main, it is a turn-based RPG. As you saw right there, you learn abilities randomly. Now, a few things do help you. There really is like no like 100% of like how it's done, but some things do help you to learn. Using certain abilities helps you learn other abilities. For instance, we're going to learn double slash at some point. And when we learn double slash, using that leads into some other stuff like hard slash and thrust, and you'll see from there.
Do you even learn anything from, like, Ray Sword?
I think you do.
Well, using sword moves doesn't... That helps you.
I think it's a standard. I think it's a standard sword.
Oh, okay.
But right now, for the time where I only have myself, I'm not going to mess around at all because you really can, especially when you go to the 4th dimension like this, and the enemies take double as much. You really can quickly start dying. So we're actually going to use Bright Fist. I hope that takes... Yeah, it took a little more. That's really important, actually, like, right now when you don't have your full party, and you actually don't get your full party to about a half hour through, you really gotta be careful. And that just is what it is. So that's a big plot key for Red's thing. He'll be doing stuff, and then he'll get a call from the Cygnus, like, we're going! And, like, it's always at, like, of course, the most inopportune time where he's like, I almost have Chooser!
I like how they have this official art and it looks nothing like his sprite at all.
Yeah, I mean, the official art, I like it, but it looks
awesome.
nothing like his character. Now, in between missions, I'll call them, you can kind of explore the ship. There's really not much to do. You can come over here and get your pay.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, come back next month. However, every time you do a mission, you can, do it, so...
They're long missions.
They're really long missions. So, this guy is important for later. We're gonna remember where he is.
Basically, all the mechs in this game are completely broken.
All mechs are completely broken, and we'll definitely get into that. Let's actually take a second to look at like some status and stuff like that. I don't know if you saw when I finished the fight, it said something like strength up or vitality up or HP up, whatever. You don't get levels necessarily, but when you finish off battles, you get certain abilities up. Now, it makes a lot of sense in that, like, if you use physical attacks, you're going to get strength up. Sometimes you'll get quickness up. When you use, like, magic a lot, you get, like, vitality and charm and psychic up. So, that's going to be a big thing. So, you have 8 slots. The first 4 are generally for, like, swords and stuff like that. The backpack, one person can use it, and they can access all the items that you have. I'm actually going to give this to Red as well. The bottom 4 are generally armor kind of stuff going on, so you can do, like, boots, and I got that jumpsuit on. And most importantly, we have the abilities. This is what we're going to be messing around with later. I have a couple fighting abilities, which, by the way, doesn't that flexed arm, doesn't it also look kind of like a weird triangle? That's what I always thought it was growing up. I was like, why is it a weird triangle? But now I realize it's a fist.
Yeah,
but
I see the fist now, but I always thought that it was like a...
As you do other stuff, like, we're gonna learn, now that I have my normal sword on, we're going to learn some sword techniques, and you can do them. One of the things you'll notice is I have, I think it's 12, yeah, you see the WP right there, I have 12 right there. That number tells you how much it is. One cool thing is if you fill up most of the space here, like 7 out of the 8 spaces, everything's going to take 1 less because it says that you master the ability. So that's going to be something cool. The very last thing to mention is if you see on there we have LP. Like LPs, that's actually really important to this game. LP are life points. You can be killed and lose your HP as much as you want, but every time you do that, you lose a life point. If you're downed and you also get hit, it's also a life point down. Your character is dead when it gets to 0 life points. After each battle, you're going to get all your HP back every single time, but you don't get your LP back. So the LP is the thing that you're going to go, and your weapon points, that you want to go to inns and stuff like that for. So that's the basis of the game.
And you never really get that much HP, you max out at 999.
Yes. Yes, and there are some things that, like, can take, several hundred, if not 999 when you have not enough, defense and stuff like that. So, another thing to mention is that the enemies level up with you. So it's kind of like a Final Fantasy VIII kind of thing going on there. So, like, as you go to a place and grind, the enemies will get harder. So,
enemy, like the enemies that show up change too.
Yes, the enemies that show up change too. So right now I'm facing a lot of like slimes and nonsense like that. Down the line, you face a lot tougher stuff. So we're gonna save because this is actually a pretty tough battle. I'm saving over my previous thing.
I want to go to that tomb.
Yes, we're gonna go to the tomb in a little bit. But for right now, what we want to do is we want to see if there's anything I can buy here. Oh no, this is the inn. I don't need that. Actually, I don't think there's anything I can buy. So, this next battle,
that is awesome.
yeah, it is pretty awesome. This next battle is very random. You go here, and you guys want to know how to get into Say's tomb, and you go, tell me. And then some black ass says that, that's what we want to know, and they jump out.
Did you just
really
say some black guy?
Black X.
Oh, okay.
I heard black guy.
Oh my god. You want to hope that there's... I'm probably gonna die. You really hope that there's 2 here, and that there's no green fighter. You have so...
Just turn into Alkays, or...
You can't because the kids are here.
Kill the kids.
A true superhero.
So... We're probably gonna die here, unfortunately.
What are you supposed to do?
You hope that there's no green one, and that's literally it. So you hope that there's 2. Sometimes there is 2 that show up. The good news is there's quick start, which only takes like literally 1 second.
I was about to say,
up.
did you say that you did?
I did.
But
So
yeah,
quick start loads you up on the last load right away, and it is what it is. I have everything equipped. There's really nothing else you can do. I really don't feel like going and grinding just for red, but it's just as dangerous. So,
and you'll notice that this game is it's a fun game, but it's also very unpolished. And I think they get sometimes the like the difficulty curve not dang.
Oh, let's do that. Yeah, I literally have 90 HP, so it's like... We hope that this just kills them. This is actually... Sweet! Okay, we have a chance. This is actually probably...
Yeah, use triple thrust.
Yeah.
Double slash, yeah. Cool, and that's perfect. Actually, having double slash this early is great, because all the battles we do from now on where we have Alkazer is going to be awesome. And the simple fact that I won that in 2 is pretty cool. So, they stole... It's super hard to see because they did it so fast, but they stole a little girl or whatever.
Kidnapped.
And...
People are kidnapped.
Kidnapped, right. And they're gonna take them over to this tomb.
Yeah, this game is unfortunately definitely a guide game. Especially if you start this game up and don't choose red, there's some characters that they just drop you in and they're just do stuff.
We're starting with reds because it's definitely the most, specific story-wise, and they really should just tell you to start with red because the Cygnus stuff is really nice. It, holds your hand through the first, 1/7 or 8th of the game or whatever. So he's pretty mad that they're threatening a defenseless child. He's gonna morph into Alkazer. And again, he can do it because no one's around.
How do they know about you?
Yeah, they really should.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I guess the only thing that makes sense is maybe he was when he met Schuzer down at Baccarat, he was like, I'm Alkazer! And it's like, okay.
And they just didn't.
Yeah, if they
that.
say that the missions are a month, then maybe a month.
It's definitely possible. That's assuming that the, that it's not just a weird, translation, you know?
Use based,
I might have to use Magic Stone just to get this done.
Do you have it anymore?
How are we...
I thought that was an item.
Yeah, I guess that was the only one.
Break Fist.
You think so? Let's see what takes.
It's gonna take more.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry, Double Flash, you suck.
Well, I guess it's Alkazer.
I don't know if Bright Fist is an automated learn, but it's way better than Double Slash.
Definitely true.
And that effect. The lens flare? Oh, man.
Later on, a lot of the high-level things you learn for Magic or whatever have really, really, really awesome, animations. They're just the bee's knees. Another thing we'll see at some point is combinations.
Yeah.
You have 5 people in your party. Let's hope this works. Dang it. And I'm dead. Alright, we saved. That's fine. So next time we'll just start off with Bright.
This
And
game is epic.
it's really like the only time I had any chance to do any leveling was I could have fought those 3 bad guys at Baccarat, but it's like I'd be up like 5 HP. Like it wouldn't be anything crazy. So we're gonna go back in here again. We're gonna start with Bright Fist right away. Luckily, after we get past this part, the next part where we're gonna actually fight, like have to fight and fight, is where we can get other people in our party, which is really nice.
Did the bosses level up with you as well?
Yes, but not to an extreme as the normal ones, which is
Doesn't it
kind
just
of weird.
like shift their HP?
It just shifts their HP. Fighting, when you're really high level, fighting a random enemy in Yorkland or at the the Bioresearch Lab in Shrike where we are, is actually like way harder than most Thank you, Sam. Than most bosses. Some of the final bosses are pretty dang difficult no matter what you do, but... So, again, it's good that you start with Red because of, like, the story. Like I said, this game does not hold your hand for anything. The only part that it really does is Red's, because at least it kind of starts you off. But it's tough to fight battles with literally just yourself. Especially against up to... Wow. Nice.
Hey, that's the move that guy used. It's worse.
It's about the same.
Okay. So we get a really good chance here.
What?
Wow. Whoa! Nice. That's actually going to be great for later.
Yeah.
That's like
Lucky learning all these moves.
once I'm actually strong, this will be great. Oh, I didn't mention earlier yeah, and there you go. Right as you're about to do something, they just like, it's such a plot point. They're like, ugh, call from the Cygnus, gotta go.
Look how cool he is. He looks like a unicorn.
I think he looks cool. Like, unironically.
I like his Bright Fist, where it's like, shh. It's literally a Bright Fist.
I like his sparkling roll.
So, another thing I forgot to mention about learning techniques is the harder the enemy is, the better chance you have of learning certain ones, obviously. So, as I fight harder and harder enemies, I'll start learning, like, more advanced stuff. So, I prefer to get all my characters that I want in the quest as early as possible so they can all level up with me equally and be able to learn the stuff. It is funny if you get a character later and, like, they just instantly learn, like double slash right away, and then it instantly is thrust. Like, it's, like, no chance of, like, you know, messing it up. One of the other things I like doing is I like kind of multitasking characters in this game. It's really not how you're supposed to do it, but I don't care. For instance, like, I like taking Rogue. Wait. How do you say the red color?
I'm pretty sure it's Rouge.
Rouge, right.
French. Didn't you take
Right.
French?
I like taking, yeah, but I forgot.
5 years.
4.
Down the drain. Oh, I thought you took 5.
Nah.
Oh.
So I like taking Rouge and making him both a
This tastes good.
So this is the 8th character that was supposed to be at Fuse. Looks like a girl because of long hair, but actually is a guy policeman. And you can tell that he was meant to be the 8th character because he's like pretty big in a lot of different of these quests, especially in Reds. So this one's a weird one. You really don't have to do anything here. I am gonna go to the CTC building just to show you guys for later, because it is something we can do.
It's nicer than the Lancaster County CTC.
Yeah. So, just want to show you that. Literally, you can, the second that you start this, you can just be like, want to board the Cygnus? And it's like, yep. If you do go, if you go to a place and you have to do something, it'll say, I'm on the Cygnus crew. It'll be like, the ship is not ready to go. But I guess it's just to let you go around and shop and stuff. But literally, like, there is nothing you can afford in Manhattan right now.
How much are you getting paid?
200 credits.
That's it?
I know it's literally nothing, but when I only have 818, it's
that's like 25%.
it's nice,
good.
yeah. Oh yeah, so like I said, I like. Come see what I found. See a rat or something?
And what
Nice, dude.
Her name sounds like urea.
Here we go. You ready for this?
Like urine.
Yeah, let me check inside these boxes, girl.
Wow, that's incredibly inappropriate.
It's a weapon. Also, this music. They design handbags.
She wanted to steal a handbag.
Too bad it's a 4-second loop.
So that's pretty key. That you see that the Cygnus is perhaps smuggling weapons. So the CTC building is who's in, I guess, the Buki who's in charge of it. Yeah. I am. Oh, Red. I thought it was said head. I'm like, what the heck?
Mr. Red.
And these guys come and take me out. About the cargo of the Cygnus!
It's the Cygnus Transport Corporation.
Who's there? Hired goons? Good times. So he's Erpo, and he's with Erpo, and Erpo is essentially like the FBI of this world. So they have a little bit more say than just a random person. Thanks, cutie. Oh yeah.
Look at that strut.
So he let
Everyone struts hard.
yeah, in this game.
Wow.
This is Campbell. Oh. So this is not important at all, but it is what it is. Your business partner, Shifa Commerce in Kurang.
I read Shinra for
Yeah, I know,
like
right?
2 seconds.
He says, why don't you contact them? And he says, well, it's a fictitious company. He says, no one knows how to contact them. And she's like, that's odd. And then Red gets his butt beat. And she's like, oh, well, we take any money. So he pretty much did that to, like, kinda scare them. So just showing like, hey, we know what's up. What's she gonna do? She has the next move, kind of thing, and we'll see that.
I like that it looks like a weird cathedral.
Oh yeah.
It's the Cygnus Technology Cathedral.
All right. So this is a thing that happens then. This ship is pretty close, and it's a pirate ship. So we want to try to evacuate, but they're trying to get away, and it's they're getting BTFO. They're attacking us. Period. So now the Cygnus is there's pirates.
What kind of pirates?
Space pirates.
Are you in space?
That's a,
Oh, and they
that's
brought-
a pirate.
I didn't
They brought
say
a toy truck and a boar.
I didn't save, but it'd be cool if this was relatively easy.
Definitely get rid of the mech first. Oh.
I don't know if I can. I don't think I can.
Oh.
Do you break
Dead.
it?
Thank you. No, I only have Bright Fist as Alkazer.
Oh, okay.
Now, luckily, they throw you a bone
All right,
with
first.
most of these enemies dead. All right, it's
Come
fine.
on, learn something.
Yeah, it's not like you learn like 2 really good moves. Thrust. Here we go. Oh.
Thrust would be nice.
Tricked us.
Okay, good. So we're gonna save after this.
Can you name the characters?
You can name. You
Name
can
this
name
one.
T260G.
Why would you change that one though?
I like that. Just fat dude walks in and clobbers Red.
He goosed you. Get it? Because you're on like a swan.
Shut up.
You got goosed.
But then Fuse BTFs of them. So somebody told them about the smuggled weapons, and it was Campbell. Bum 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 bum. So we have they have we're gonna use Fuse. Now we can get other characters, and we will. There's a pretty difficult boss coming up. I know that El Speedrun Stratos are that you only need like a couple people, but we're actually gonna get some characters that you really can't get anywhere else. Dang it. I tried to get past all these. The problem with the fact that I hit one of them means that
You're gonna hit all of them.
I'm probably gonna hit all of them.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can like move like as it's loading up, but even that might be difficult. So let's see. Come on.
Yeah, this is definitely one.
Yes. Nice.
One flaw of the game. There's like sometimes you enter screens and there's like 6 enemies and they all like run really fast at you.
So what we want to do is not to be seen by this dude who turns his head once in a while. Okay, cool. We're gonna go in here where we saw the robot earlier. There is an enemy here. We're gonna fight it even though it's just standing there. Because reasons, you know? Luckily, this ain't too bad.
Got a weird platypus
Yeah.
living in an egg.
I think they're actually just called platypus.
Oh, really?
We'll see more of these later. Yeah, so, that's... Oh, Platoon. Platoon Puss.
Oh, that's a good name.
Platoon bus.
So, they can block a lot. Oh, there we go. Oh, sweet, even better.
Smash!
Smash is
Oh
great.
yeah, Smash is great.
I'm gonna use that against the boss coming up.
This guy has
I'm gonna go home and smash some.
See, this is why we have to fight.
All right.
What?
Wow.
Nice.
We have to fight 4 of these and the boss coming up. So, holy crap, they're not this strong.
All right, just like sprinkler. Oh.
Oh, okay. This would die, please. Okay, there we go.
No.
They're I don't think they have that much HP when you fight him as the boss. Maybe because there's only one. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and
Do you remember what Charm does?
leave. I don't. That's another major problem with this game is it doesn't explain a lot of stuff. So we see that we're going to get what's the name of this guy? B, J, and K. And I think we get to keep him throughout, which is pretty nice. So we are going to head up here, and we are going to see Mr. Based Rufus, who will be important on a lot of the other quests. And Rufus gets this amazing, like, luxury suite. And, yeah.
So Charm is like it's relegated to like 5 moves, and it's all like weird like moves you'll never use, like Starlight Heal, Mind Heal, Fascination, like Mystic or like Light Magic spells.
That's crazy to be something that is, like, literally just for, like, one, you know? Or, I'm sorry, like, one specific,
Because-
like,
yeah,
thing
and like
for
there's
that.
probably obviously like an intelligence or magic stat.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, Charm.
Okay, we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna get some characters you cannot get in any other quest. So that's pretty cool. There we go, I think. So, the green-haired girl is, Acellus.
Yes.
So for the longest time, I thought the girl on the right,
She's
That
cutting
was-
candy.
Was her brain?
it was her brain, but it's just a bunch of white roses.
Yeah,
I mean,
her
she's-
name's White
It's
Rose.
literally White
but-
Rose, but I always just thought it was her brain.
So this is something that's kind of cute for later. So she's like, Red's like, Acellus? And she's like, oh, it's Dr. Okanu's boy. You know, assuming that they were like, she knew him when he was like a little boy. And he's like, what, it's been 10 years? He's like, you haven't changed a bit apart from the fact that you dyed your hair green, and that's going to be something we find out in Acellus quest, like
You still look like a teenager.
why she looks so young. It's actually pretty key. She's been asleep for 10 years and hasn't aged a day since.
What was that accent?
It's White Rose. She's freaking royalty, bruh.
Oh, and all royalty is
British.
like a bad British accent.
Yeah.
Yes!
Terrible Brit.
All female characters in this game are like, Nicholas, you're so strong.
Check. I want to see.
You should fight crime.
I want to see what her race is.
What the hell is that?
Why do you use that name?
It's from that dude, that stand-up comedian.
Where'd you get
You just like
BG&K?
You got
Rufus?
6
Yeah,
Airbuses.
where'd you
Yeah,
get
Rufus was in the top.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna leave White. I think I'm gonna leave White
What's
Rose up.
Acilus's race? I want to see.
It'll say half Mystic. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's half Mystic.
Dude, she does have some good stuff. I guess.
Take her to Fascinatru, get the Ashura. That's pretty good.
Half Mystics.
It only costs like half your life points. Yeah.
3.
Oh yeah, dude. There's like so much stuff I don't remember.
Dude, there's so much good stuff about this game. All right, so I want to try to find. I forget where he is.
So it's just a boar hanging out.
No, I'm at the wrong spot, aren't I? Yes. I want to find where Blue is.
Blue.
I kind of forget where he is, and I'm not gonna take too much time figuring this out.
Like, do you need to meet him like right now to like gain him?
No, you can't gain him at all. It's kind of funny. He's like,
Oh, do you get Rouge in this?
no. Essentially, Blue's there, and he's like, I'll come with you and fight. And then he's like, what's your name? And Red's like, Red. And Blue's like, nah, I changed my mind. I don't like your name just because it's blue and red. I have no idea where he is, but that's no big deal. I think he's down here. But yeah, I was trying to like think like how do I get over there? That's not a huge deal. So we're gonna head up here, and we want to be seen now. The enemy. Whereas before, if we were seen with just the 2, we would be BTFO. Which I was the first time I was BTFO. It doesn't look like much, but when you only have 2, and Red is essentially like useless at this point. Whoa. I guess we're gonna save that for the boss. I wanted to use Acellus because she has a pretty cool move. Wow, that's cool. She has a pretty cool sword called the Fiend Rod, and it has a really funny attack. It's called Final Strike, and it literally destroys the sword. Like, I don't know, it takes a lot of damage and then destroys the sword, but we'll be fine to where we are. Now you'll notice during this that the mech BGNK is not going to get standard experience like the rest of these guys. Pretty hard battle, so you're seeing a lot of stuff, HP, WP, whatever. The way that you level up mechs is you give them stuff, and that's literally it. You just
and that's why mechs are so incredibly good. Like, you just buy them stuff, and then they're like max self-defense.
Oh, cool. I think this is actually... That was weird. I did not do that. Here he is. You're a pretty good fighter. Will you help us? I don't know you. I'm Blue. I suck. All right.
He doesn't though. He has the region map.
Okay.
Good lord. I just think that's a funny little thing. All right, so we are pretty much.
Wait, what happened to that guy?
What?
Why was that guy in his room, and why did he throw him out of the room?
He just got BTFO'd, dude. I don't know what's done.
But why?
It was one of the pirates, probably.
Yeah, it was probably one of the pirates. I mean, they use
not all the pirates are boars.
They use a lot. They use a lot of the same like humanoid bad guy characters constantly throughout the quest, so that's one of them. All right, so we're gonna continue up here.
I forgot about the toy trucks and the living gauntlets.
He says it's too dangerous to go through this emergency passage, and Fuse is like, "All right, let's do it." But there's some type of energy field that protects you for like a brief second when you're outside, so you don't go fly away. The first time I did it, even though I swear I pressed left right away, I did fall off, and it's just a game over. So let's just do what we can. It's all about like how you do it when
Oh,
Yep.
bye.
See, like I feel like I did that perfect. I just saved obviously, but I feel like I did that perfect. I don't know. What else you need to do?
It just kicks you out to the main menu.
It just